preparations are almost complete. They've all noticed it by now, but it is far too late for them. Tomorrow, our plan will finally unfold. Victory is soon at hand. Be prepared.
Hey everyone, Jessica Kaksu here. So you might notice this video is a little different than what I've done previously. By the way, I'm still recovering from hay fever before you go asking. So, what I'm going to talk about here is YouTube Shorts. It's been unusual recently. It's been glitching out, and I'm not saying this is a problem on YouTube's end. Oh no, this is more lore connected. So if you watch any of these YouTubers specifically, or at least their shorts, you might have noticed that over this week, their videos have been, how do I put this, very glitchy. With a couple QR codes popping up here and there, different codes, everything. Well, this is all part of something known as an ARG, or alternate reality game. What an ARG does is use elements from the real world and makes it so they progress the story. And YouTube Shorts are the perfect way to pull it off. And the whole thing just downhill from there. So let's just basically run down what on earth is going on here. So for the sake of this video of an info dump or meaningless slop or whatever, I'll be using Dano's channel as a bit of a reference. All the others will basically do the same thing, but in their own different ways. You know, every channel works differently. So, it all starts with this short.
Is cloning humans possible? Believe it or not, we're actually a lot closer than you think. Most people know that scientists were first able to actually clone a sheep back in 1996 named Dolly. And there are tons of clones that exist today, including horses, dogs, cats, cows, and monkeys. And you can even clone your dog for $50,000. So we're pretty close to being able to clone humans, right? Well, no. Aside from the many ethical, religious, and overall moral problems of cloning, while it may be theoretically possible—
Whoa, hold it! Notice this. A QR code. This is our first hint of the ARG. Scanning this will take you to this message.
I've come to make an announcement. For far too long, these so-called Shorts creators have been poisoning the minds of a generation with this meaningless slop. These hooligans need to be stopped by any means necessary. And that's where we come in. This is a message to all Shorts YouTubers. You have 1 week to cease operations. Pack your things. Quit. We hold the key. And if you do not comply with our request, you will simply be replaced. This is your final warning.
Whoa, that's a lot to take in. Right, let's analyze this little by little. So this guy seems to be our BBEG, or Big Bad Evil Guy, aka the main antagonist of the ARG, whom I shall name XI. Yeah, before you go asking, yes, he was that pink and green guy from my opening skit. He will come back later, trust me. So to start with, let's analyse this guy's message to try and get what his motivation is, or at least his plan. So to start with, he's saying that these short creators, the ones whom I mentioned earlier, Johnny Razor, Royal Pear, Dano, the others, etc., etc., they've been
poisoning the minds of a generation
with this
meaningless slop.
Really? You call this meaningless? Anyway, he's basically just saying that what these lot are doing are rubbish and they need to be stopped at whatever the cost. And that's where they come in. Yes, he's not alone for some reason. Who knows why? So he's basically telling that these short creators to pack their bags quick within a week. And if they don't do so, they'll simply be replaced by what? Isn't it obvious? Clones. Hence why the beginning part of the introduction shows the clones being made. Oh boy, this is where things start to get complicated. He basically just says that it's a final warning. Now what the heck caused all this? Well, look no further. Clone VPN. You thought we were done with clones, right? Well, think again. I personally think that XI made this so that his plan could come into fruition. Now, how the heck could this work? Well, the ad itself plays out like a regular VPN ad, saying it's gonna, make your security great, you're gonna block out viruses, But if you look behind the scenes, there's a load of glitching in this video, and I mean a lot, showing there's more than meets the eye to this station. Heck, there's even an actual website you can go to. Now let's take a look at the About Us page. Let's have a little read. Here at Clone VPN, we have a simple yet ambitious objective: to control your world. Now don't fret, we're not talking about world domination.
Or are we?
Keep that in mind, folks, because that's gonna come important later. No, our aim is to take the reins, steering your online experience with uniformity and predictability. 2 key words there. Consider us as your guide, leading you down the path where your internet browser becomes monotonous. First time reading that word, actually. And your favourite content creators appear as if they're reading from the same script. That is gonna be important for this week, as if this video is uploading, that is, because everyone is going to act the same. Again, they're acting as robots here. They're clones. Clones in media basically equal robots. Clones equals robots. You get the idea? Anyway, let's keep reading. After all, isn't life simpler when someone else is pulling at the strings? Now, this is very... I mean, for one, monotonous, I said the name correctly, basically means dull or repetitive. Basically meaning everyone is talking in monotone. I'm just kidding, I'm not... you get what I mean. There's no voice modulation, as the term is known. It's what makes us raise and lower our voices. So continuing on the story, we've also found these codes, which just happen to link to another MP4 video. Each one of which are in the playlist I've linked in the description, basically shows each of these YouTubers accepting a deal with Clone VPN for $25,000, roughly. At least that's from what I've gathered. They accept, they glitch out, and then cut to black. And their fate was sealed. On Clone VPN's side of the spectrum, they got hold of their personal information and images, making clones of them, and they then dispatch them to their YouTube channels, where they can go and replace them, and before long, take them over. Yeah, I ain't kidding. But some of them wouldn't work. Joe Kane didn't work, for example, because his voice is too suave, apparently. Riggy's, though, this is the most important one here. His was glitched. His broke free of the cloning spree. So I think he could be a secondary, if not main antagonist, next to XI. What do you guys think? Let me know. And again, if you look at down the short that started the whole ARG off, watch what happens when the QR code appears. I'll slow it down. Did you see him? He's right there. It's also shown that Riggy is self-aware of this, as shown in the biggest scam in history. As you can see at the end of the video, he's just like, what the f***, there's someone following me! And basically, Dano's just like,
shut the f*** up, Donnie.
Thinking he's talking nonsense when he's not. So this makes me believe that Riggy could be one of the main protagonists of the ARG, if not the main protagonist, alongside Johnny Razor. So let's recap on everything we've just learned. So XI, at least that's what I'm calling him, finds these shorts creators very annoying, and the stuff they post is very poisoning to viewers, and he wants them stopped at all costs. So he creates a scammy website called Clone VPN to draw them in, to replace them and get rid of their antics. They're very quick to do so. They accept the biggest egg deal, like dealing with the devil. Over a week, their clones replace them. Riggy becomes self-aware and notices the strange things going on. And then, we're right here where we stand.
The preparations are almost complete. They've all noticed it by now, but it is far too late for them. Tomorrow, our plan will finally unfold. Victory is soon at hand. Be prepared.
We can only know so much about what Clone VPN and XI are doing. So maybe next week I will do a part 2 to this lore and see if we can add on to the story and see what we have so far. So this is the story what we have so far. I hope you enjoyed. Now don't worry before you guys say I'm in the conflict with all the glitches and anything. No, I'm using them as transitions, nothing more. So that leaves a big question for us to answer. What's going to happen to the true content creators? Well, one of two things are going to happen. One, they're going to die, which is very unlikely considering it's an ARG and games are only fictional. They won't actually die. Or two, they could get taken away somewhere. Like kidnapped, taken as hostage, thrown in another dimension. Yeah, we've seen all that before, haven't we? Especially the put in another dimension one. Especially if you've seen Smile Pretty Cure or even My Little Pony Equestria Girls. That happened. So, starting for tomorrow, as of this upload, we're gonna find out what those clones are gonna get up to. This is gonna be one wild ride. You could argue their plan is very similar to ITA and IBA's in regional broadcast Pretty Cure. Very similar, considering they both want to unify something or other because of one particular thing. Their motivation. But hey, it's just a theory. Nope, I ain't gonna go there. Sorry. Well, either way, this is the story we have so far. I currently recorded this live specifically the next day. I was originally going to release this yesterday, but I didn't have the time to finish this video off. So, be prepared, everyone. Who knows what's going to happen to these channels over the next week. They're all going to be acting the same way as well, which is making me feel very nervous. Well, we're going to take our first look today. I'll add an update onto the lore possibly next week. And then we'll add on to the story and see how much we've got out of it. So, this is JK2, signing off for now. Peace!